All right, it looks like we're getting ready to resume our show into the market division, and we have our dairy steers that are making their way into the ring, and we're looking for 3 dairy steers, 2 shown by Emma Varachka and 1 shown by John Varachka. So they are making their way in their little caravan.
Well, not huge numbers here in the dairy steer division, and I think some quality as we read these cattle in terms of what they bring to the table. Really a nice set of dairy steers, all 3 of them. And I think yet some differences between them. We've got 2 crossbred steers and then a purebred Swiss. And I think as we look at these steers, I'll just explain what I read in them individually, and then we'll find you a champion and reserve among these dairy steers. The steer up front here is one that you really like in terms of how he gets around the ring. He's super sound structured. He's level hipped and he's long hipped. One that maybe when compared to the ideal for his weight, I'd like to just moderate him just a touch and stouten him up behind. When I get my hands on him, he's got enough shape to his top and he's adequate in his finish over his rib. Maybe doesn't overwhelm you in either of those 2 areas, but a nice project for the young man. The next steer in the lineup, and these aren't placed, we're just discussing them at this point. This steer is one that I think is really complete in terms of muscularity and finish. A steer that you handle him and he overwhelms the other 2 in terms of muscle. One that you really like in terms of how smooth he is in his finish over his rib. when you get behind him, he's really a stout, powerful individual. He's sound structured and he gets around the ring well. He is more moderately framed in relation to his weight compared to the other steers in the class, but definitely one that is stout and powerful. You'd maybe like to change him just a little bit in his shoulder angle, but that's being awful critical of a pretty nice crossbred dairy steer. The Swiss steer is a really nice, long, extended steer as well. For his weight, you'd maybe like to just moderate him when compared to the ideal, but he's adequate in terms of muscle and finish for the weight that he is today. A steer that is sound enough structured, maybe isn't quite as powerful when you get right behind him as maybe another steer or two in class, but I think for his weight is adequate in that regard as well. Really a nice dairy steer show. Let's give him a round of applause and I'll get you a grand in reserve.
Receiving first place overall dairy steer is one of the steers shown by Emma Verachka. Receiving second place and reserve champion dairy steer is John Verachka. And receiving third blue is Emma Verachka's other dairy steer.
Just a single entry market heifer, and I think definitely one that could stand quite a bit of heat out here. Really appreciate this one for the added frame size that she has within that market heifer division, and being one that handles with a tremendous amount of shape and power, one that's super stout and big bodied, really smooth in terms of her finish. She's right exactly where she needs to be, projecting her to the state fair. Really a high quality one. And then you set her in motion, and to be honest, when she's at the standstill, you wonder if she's going to continue to be sound enough when you make her lead. But I think one that really surprises you in terms of flexibility and movement with all that added stoutness and power. Now, is she perfect through her front 1/3? Maybe not when compared to the ideal. She's adequate, though, for me. Just nitpicking her, you'd like to just extend her a nickel up front. But like I said, that's getting pretty hard on a real high-quality market heifer. Congratulations. Let's give them a round of applause.
Nice job, bud. And winning first blue in the market heifer class is Keegan Lamont.
Well, here in the steer class, to be honest, this is pretty challenging out here. After you get this first place steer to settle in and behave himself, to get a look at him, I think he rises to the top, and then after that, it gets really tough. The steer that wins, that is a wild-looking dude when he gets set up from the side. Way his neck comes out of his shoulder and into his head. He's stands at attention and is up-headed, one that's super level down his top. He is the soundest structured steer in the class. He gets around the ring the best. He's one that's the best in terms of completeness for me. One that's really attractive from the side, yet has enough shape and power and muscle and body. Really a high-quality one. Now, he fights out here, and like I said, it's tough to get a great look at him, but once he does settle in, I think that's one you have to be attracted to win the class. From there, there's some give and take, and to be honest, the 3 steers that remain, all I would like to change structurally. Steers that all have their own individual issues. I think the one that comes next is maybe the most practical steer of the remaining 3 here. A steer that is kind of what you see is what you get. Not a steer that's going to go to the state fair and win a division in the crossbred show, but I think would be a great candidate in the slickshorn division. I think one that in that division, what you see is what you get. He's super smooth. He's got some muscle. His finish is right. A steer that when he gets around the ring, though, he paddles off of them rear two, and I would just like to fix that about him, make him more comfortable as he reaches and flexes out of his hip and hind leg. But one that's adequate in terms of look and balance. He's level. He's got some body. I think the next best one, the next most practical one in the group. The problem steer for me is the one that comes next. I think you could talk yourself into running him second. A steer that I wish was heavier weight. A steer that, for his weight, though, has a tremendous amount of shape and power working in him. I think he's adequate in terms of finish for the weight that he's at. I'd like to change him quite a bit structurally out of his hip and hind leg, though. He really paddles and struggles and is knotted up in that hip, and he throws them legs outside of his skeleton when he goes from behind. One, though, that when she gets him parked, he balances up pretty nice. He's attractive, extremely highly presented. You can tell she's been putting the time in with her brush at home. Really commend her for that. A nice calf for her. Just need to fix him up structurally to get him up any higher. The steer that comes next is one that, too, I would like to change off of his hip and hind leg, especially from his hock to the ground. He gets pretty rigid there and doesn't flex and go like I'd like him to. And when he does that, he bows up in his top and isn't quite as flexible. Now, you get your hands on him, and he's got some muscle. He has got the most finish of any steer in the class. You'd maybe even like to trim him up just a touch in terms of the fat cover in relation to muscle shape that he has to make that a little better package altogether. A steer that has some shape, though, when you get behind him. One that is adequate in terms of look. Just need to fix him structurally, give him a shot more muscle compared to the condition that he has. Really a nice class of steers. Let's put our hands together for these exhibitors.
Receiving first place in the steer class is Allison Rentz. In second place, Taylor Wolf. In third place, Ava Mueller-Liley. And in fourth place, Ella Lamont. And now give them a hand. Now we will be picking out the market beef lineup. And then after that, we'll have the overall state fair lineup. And then we'll be transitioning into showmanship.
Again, not huge numbers in the market division, but I think the quality here at the top end is definitely there. And we get these 2 class winners and then the respective second out of the steer class back out here for consideration. I think definitely some quality, definitely some cattle that could be competitive at the next level for sure. Ones that you really have to appreciate. Congratulations to all these market exhibitors. That's a big dedication to that project from a feed and finances standpoint, and then all the work that goes with it. So congratulations again to all the exhibitors in the market division. Young lady with the steer, you're going to be the champion. You're going to be the reserve with the market effort. Congratulations.
And our grand champion overall market animal is Allison Rentz with her steer. And our reserve champion market animal is Keegan Lamont with his market heifer. Let's give him a round of applause. A lot of work goes into these market animals, and they really deserve that. Next, he's picking out his market lineup, market beef, and then we'll be transitioning into overall state fair lineup.
Well, you around ringside, thank you for, sticking with us and bearing with us as we get through this State Fair lineup. We got all these kids and all these cattle in the ring, and we've got all you ringside. So I'm going to take a minute and just make a few comments. The first comment is thank you to the committee, whoever hires the judge. Thank you for asking me to come back this year to judge the fair. Really an honor and a privilege to come share my opinion. Some of you, we may have disagreed at times in certain classes or divisions or whatever it may be, but hopefully I was able to explain what was going through my mind and why I placed them the way I did, and you were able to understand that. What makes the world go round is there are different opinions, and if everybody had the exact same cattle, I guess it'd be a pretty boring deal, and there would be no reason to bring them out here. So I commend all of these exhibitors that are here in the ring for sticking with the Beef Project. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart. As I think about what's molded my life, the Beef Project is one of the most important things that I ever took part in as a kid myself, and one of the most important things I've done with my kids so far. So congratulations to all of you exhibitors for being out here. I've got a couple of tasks for you though. The first one is, when you're done with the show today, I don't know if it's parents, siblings, grandparents, neighbors, friends, whoever it may be that helped get you here and give you the experience of showing beef cattle. Go and find them, give them a big hug, and tell them thank you. Okay? That's very, very important. That means so much to those people. I've got two little boys that are Clover Buds and are showing in the open show at Houston County going on right now. To be honest, kills me just a little bit not to be there. But I agreed to judge this show before we decided to go there. It also would have killed me to cancel on all of you kids and make you find somebody else. So my hat's off to all of you again. First task, find whoever helps you, give them a big hug and tell them thank you. The second task is, I judged a show last night in a county close to here. They had over 120 head, okay? There's not 120 head here. There's always room for growth, okay? Go out and find somebody that you can help be a part of this. I'm a little biased. I think a lot of you ringside are a little biased, but I don't think there's a better way to raise kids than right here doing this, okay? This show, 20 years from now, nobody's going to care who won. Nobody's going to remember, okay? But the humans that you become because of what we're doing right here today is what's the most important. I won a state championship in football, okay? It was awesome. I played basketball. It was great. What I learned there compared to what I learned doing this doesn't even compare, okay? Get somebody you know interested in doing something like this, whether it's showing cattle, pigs, sheep, goats, horses, whatever it may be. That's the vehicle that we as parents, we as adults, we as mentors use to create better human beings in the next generation. So what I want you to do ringside, okay, pat yourselves on the back, thank yourselves because you're obviously here for a reason, and let's stand up and give a huge round of applause, a standing ovation to all of these kids that are here in the ring. We're going to get a State Fair lineup together here, and hopefully those of you that earn State Fair trips, take that trip and work hard at the next level because I think you'll be very competitive. I think there's a lot of good cattle here in this county, and it'd be fun to see twice that many and twice the quality in the years to come. So, like I said, get somebody excited about it, mentor somebody, help somebody out. We're going to do something kind of fun after we get the State Fair lineup done, and that's going to take some time, so bear with us, but you're going to want to stick around for showmanship, okay? I'm going to make a change to the program. It says we're going to start with the juniors first and then go to the seniors, okay? We're going to start with the older kids, and once we get them out here, I'll share with you what's going to be fun about it. So the older kids, when you get done with State Fair lineup, get ready to come back in. We're going to start with the seniors, then intermediates, then juniors. Once again, thank you to everybody behind the scenes that worked at the show. got cattle in the ring, helped out in the ring, clerked. Thank you again for inviting me to come and share my opinion of the cattle. Congratulations one more time to all these exhibitors. I'll get you a state fair lineup and we'll move into showmanship.
All right, we have completed our state fair lineup, and we are bringing in our showmanship, and we're going to start with our seniors, which are grades 9 through 13. And I would like to thank all of our help that we've had tonight with the show. We have in our staging area is Eric Mueller-Liley and Dave Jones. We've had our 4-H ambassadors, Kendra and Harley. And we got our awesome clerk here, Joe Blaschko. We have our ring stewards, Pat Judd and Garrett Dominy. So we've had a lot of really good help to get this show going, and despite the rain and the storms that we've had, so we want to thank them. At this time, I'd like to announce our interview winners. Should I wait till they get done or not? Okay, for the senior, I was just going to. Our honorable mention for the senior division is Ethan Mueller-Liley. Our reserve champion for the interviews in the senior division is Desiree Dominowski. And our champion is Emma Varachka. So congratulations. They had the interviews about a week ago, and they grilled them with knowledge. Yeah, give them a hand. That's great. Great job.
Well, senior showmanship, I'm not a huge fan of judging showmanship, to be real honest with you, because it is very subjective. Judging in general is that way at times, but when you're looking at livestock and comparing them side by side, you can look at width and you can look at depth and you can look at all those measurable traits. Showmanship is a lot of personal preference. So I learned a long time ago, right when I was fresh off the judging team in college and judging some of my first shows, I will never ever get on the microphone and start nitpicking and telling you what kids are doing right or wrong in showmanship on the microphone, okay? Because the fact is, a lot of times when you're talking about a steer not having enough muscle or a heifer not being sound enough, people can cope, okay? Parents, breeders, whatever it may be, can cope with me telling them that. When I start talking about people's kids, moms specifically can't cope with that, and you get yourself in trouble, okay? So what I like to do in showmanship is the first thing I like to do is I like to say to the ring help, to the guys that were out here the entire time, helping get stuff lined up in the ring, okay, picking up manure in the ring, I like to say thank you, okay? And now your job is done. because the champion and reserve senior showmen get to come back into the ring during the intermediates, and they get to be the ring help. Okay? Hopefully they learn something from that and are able to come back and maybe one day volunteer like these two gentlemen have done today and be ring help. But the most important thing they get to do, if you're picked champion or reserve, we talked about giving somebody that's helped you, okay, a big hug and a thank you. All right? If you're champion and reserve, you're going to get on the microphone before we pick a champion and reserve intermediate, and you're gonna tell those people publicly, thank you, okay? And I think that's a lot of fun to put those kids outside of their comfort zone, okay? Let them think about that during the intermediate showmanship, and let them tell those people that helped them a bunch a big thank you on the microphone. So showmanship for me is very, very simple, okay? It starts the first time a calf walks in the ring. It's judged all day long. Again, it's personal preference. I like kids that come into the ring and are smooth. I like kids that maybe get past some adversity they have in the ring, whether it's getting placed maybe differently than they want to, maybe having a calf that doesn't behave perfectly well, and not getting mad, being professional, helping out, being smooth. Obviously, getting their animal walked into place and shown to the best of their ability is important, but being a good human being is important as well. So congratulations to all of these senior showmanship exhibitors. You all have a task to find somebody to replace you but before you graduate, okay? Before you graduate out of the program, find somebody that's going to fill your shoes. That's all I ask. Okay, let's congratulate them. I'll get you a champion reserve that gets to come back and get on the microphone and help out in the ring.
Champion showman in the senior division is Ethan Mueller-Liley. Reserve champion is Allison Rentz. Also showing is Desiree Dominowski, Clayton Jans, Addison Mitchell, and Sydney Mitchell. Entering our ring is our intermediate showmanship, grades 6 through 8. They're going to be coming in and showing, and then we'll conclude our show with our beginner showmanship, grades 3 through 5. Right now, we'd like to give the intermediate interview results out, and Kendra will be giving them ribbons. Honorable mention goes to Keandra Straub. Reserve champion goes to Ava Mueller-Liley, and grand champion goes to Taylor Wolf. So that was done about a week ago. So great job.
Well, what a great group of intermediate exhibitors here in the showmanship class. Really a good group, a big group. They're all doing a really nice job, and I don't know if they heard me before, if they were out getting ready, but We've got 2 ring helpers in here that were from the senior division, and they're here because they were champion in reserve. Okay? Guess what? If you're champion in reserve in the intermediate division, you get to stay and help in the ring for the juniors. Okay? And you also get to get on the microphone and thank whoever helped get you here and make you successful in the beef program today. Okay? When it comes to intermediate showmanship, like I said before, I'm not going to discuss the rights or the wrongs each individual kid is doing, but what I will say is it's the little things and the extras that make the difference in showmanship, and they happen all day long, not just during the showmanship class. And those little things and those extras are when you're walking around and you get to a point where you're waiting for the ones in front of you to move again, setting your calf up. Okay? If the ring starts to get tight and you move outside and try to use the whole ring, that's important. Those little things. Maybe it's loining your calf and getting its top down or getting its ears to come forward or whatever it may be. Those things are the little things that you pick up on the more you do this, and you get a little more polished as you mature and get a little more experience. So I think there's a couple out here that are doing the extras and have all day, and they're all doing a really nice job. So congratulations again to all of these intermediate exhibitors. And now comes the fun part. You 2 that won the senior division, it's your turn to get on the microphone. Let's give these 2 one more round of applause. You want to go first? Introduce yourself.
All right. My name's Ethan Mueller-Liley. To start off, I want to thank Kevin Rentz and his family and Russ Dominowski's family for getting me interested in the beef project. They started me off from the very beginning. Next, I want to thank my mom, my dad, Ava, Eric, all my cousins and aunts and uncles for helping wash and breed them to get them here. And Harley for giving my heifer a nice haircut, leaving the little afro on top. I want to thank Ava for helping me wash. I want to thank the Judd family for helping before the show, helping me get them cleaned up and ready to come in here. And anyone else I accidentally missed, thank you for helping. And yeah.
I'm Allison Rentz, and first off, I want to thank my dad. He has got me into this project, and I'll miss doing it with him as I go off to college, but I'm excited just because I know he'll always be racing them, and I'll always be able to come home and be a part of that. I appreciate what he's taught me through it, and that if you aren't having fun at the shows, then you are probably doing it wrong. There's a lot of hard work that goes to this project, and he has really shaped that and made me the person who I am through that. I want to thank my mom, my brothers, my family in general for coming to all the shows with me, my cousins that have showed with me, and even the young ones, Lily that has started showing too, and all the Martins that I have been able to be a mentor to this year. It makes the project so much funner when you can do it with a group of people. Another person I want to thank is just everyone here at this show and anyone in the past that has been a mentor to me. There are so many people that I looked up to when I was a beginner showman, and I was like, oh, I want to be like them, and I want to show like them, and I learned a lot from them and a lot from how they acted around the fair. So I really want to thank them and all the adults here that put on this show. It's really important, and it means a lot to us kids, even if we don't say it all the time. I want to thank the judge here. Thank you for making it and being away from your kids today. I appreciate that, and just anybody that has been a part of this today. I appreciate it, and it's been a really memorable 14 years, and I'm excited to still be around after this, but it won't be the same, but I'm grateful for this project. So thank you, everyone, and thank you, Dad.
I kind of forgot about Jared Thelman and his family. But I think it was because he told me not to forget about him. So then I thought about him right before I walked up here. So thank you for them joining us not too long ago and getting going in the beef project. And I'm excited to see how his kids do as they grow up and get to my age. So thank you.
Well, good job, guys. That's impressive, and that's exactly why we do what we do in the Beef Project, is to raise kids like that. So congratulations to them. I'll get you a grand in reserve here in the intermediate division.
And our grand champion showman for intermediate grades 6 through 8 is Keegan Lamont. And our reserve champion showman in grades 6 through 8 is Ava Mulalile. Great job.
Keegan, on behalf of the Sueur County Area Cattlemen's Association, we have a show halter for you to use, hopefully in your future years of showing. As part of our program with the Sueur County Area Cattlemen's Association, we give the intermediate showmen a halter, hoping they'll bring it back and use it next year and stay involved in the beef project. Congratulations to all of you on a great job you've done.
All right, we have our beginning showmanship, grades 3 through 5 coming in, and then that will round out our show. We want to thank our award sponsors, Cooney's JRC Angus Ranch, Farmers Friends 4-H Club in memory of Arliss Kruger, Penny Seeds and Services, LLC, Michael, Bridget, Hayden, and Luther. Murray Gray Beef, Tom Helfter. Wilmus Farms, an anonymous donor, Compeer Financial, and Mueller-Liley Farms. Want to thank our judge, Colby Lind, our beef superintendents, and all award sponsors. Make sure if you receive an award today, you make sure that you send a thank you note to them. We want to thank all of our sponsors for their generous donation to our 4-H program. What else do I have to announce? Did I do all that stuff? I'm not going to. We also have a pancake breakfast with scrambled eggs and sausage on Sunday from 8 to 12 in the 4-H Family Center. Check that out. Our champion and reserve champion senior showman will compete in the Premier Showmanship Contest Saturday at 4:30. And make sure you check out the 4-H food stand tonight. All proceeds go to all the 4-H events throughout the year. We have the results for our beginner interview champions. Our honorable mention goes to Amelia Baker. Our reserve champion goes to Emmett Lamont. And our grand champion beginner interview goes to Juliana Martin. So congratulations.
Well, one last time here on the microphone for me, and again, just a thank you for allowing me to come here and sort the cattle. Really enjoyed the day. A lot of high quality cattle, but even more importantly, a lot of great kids that have come through the ring. In the junior showmanship, I like to talk to the kids and give them a couple of pointers as they come in and see how they go through that and use that knowledge that I've just given them to do a good job in showing out here. So it's really fun to watch that light bulb come on a little bit and take that information and use it. It's really kind of fun. So congratulations to all of these junior exhibitors or beginner exhibitors. I would like to make one comment. The young man that was champion in the intermediate division, he got emotional. I'll be very honest, that's me, okay? I'm a crier. I get very emotional. We have been very fortunate showing cattle all over the country to win every national show in the country up until this point with one of the two breeds that we've shown, okay? And still, when my 7-year-old wins his division at the local county fair jackpot show, I get emotional and get choked up and start tearing up a little bit. So I'm going to find that young man, and we're going to have a conversation. I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I just want to shake his hand and tell him it's all right and congratulate him one more time. We've got Sister filling in. Thank you. Let's give her a huge round of applause. She said she'd come and help out. I said, I won't make you get on the microphone unless you want to. You think about it? No? Are you sure? Are you sure? In the intermediate division, they're all doing a great job. Unfortunately, we only get to pick a champion in reserve here, so they all deserve an award. Let's congratulate them one more time, and then I'll turn the microphone over. Ready?
Yeah.
Now don't forget anybody.
Okay.
Introduce yourself and go ahead.
Right now.
It's on. It's ready.
Hello, my name is Ava Mueller-Liley, and I just want to thank my mom and dad and brother and uncle for getting me here. And also all the families that are helping us improve and getting us into the beef project. But I also want to thank everyone here for being here and supporting the Sueur County Fair. And Kevin Rent, I want to say a thank you to Kevin Rent and his family for getting us in the beef project, and also Russ Dominowski for getting us here too. I really enjoy showing beef, and I'll carry on with it. I also show goats, and I have a fun time just showing livestock. I also want to thank our judge for coming here today and staying away from his family to come judge us and not canceling on us. Thank you.
See, I get emotional even listening to her get. I don't know why I do that. Anyways, congratulations, great work. Again, one more round of applause for the beginners. I'll get you a grand in reserve.
Our grand champion, beginner showman in grades 3 through 5 is Juliana Martin. Our reserve champion is Addison Lamont. Also showing, our reserve champion is Amelia Baker. And our also showing is Addison Lamont, who also did a very good job. Great job, beginner showman. That concludes our Sueur County 4-H Beef Show for the evening. Thank you for attending.